Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by StrikeForceEnergy.com. Put down the water and grab a fucking drink. Crossover.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution.
Look who's here.
I'm terrified.
Who do we got? You should be. You should be.
Boy, you bottomed to the barrel, didn't you?
No,
you come to L.A. and you get me.
We went A-list. We went A-list.
When did they get here?
Here's what happened. So we called for guest. J-Lo.
Yeah.
It was J-Lo.
Yeah.
Said yes.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington said yes.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher, her people. They said no.
Yeah. She's tough to get a hold of.
She's tough to get a hold of right now.
Yeah.
And then they said Jim O'Hare. And I was like, all right, if I'm going between those four, we're going Jim O'Hare. And Denzel was like, okay.
Yeah.
I see
it.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay. Welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution.
Wow. I'd like to say I'm thrilled to be here, but I hate to begin with a lie.
I know. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. We're going to say I paid you a lot of money to be here, and that's that.
Sadly, I was free this morning. Let's just leave it at that. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Here's the thing, kids. We're live from LA this week. Wanted to have some of my favorite actors on the show. Who I get to work with. You're one of my faves, Jim.
Yay, you're one of my faves too.
You always bring it.
You had me at your the most brilliant film. Not that they're not all brilliant.
Sure.
But now give me the title.
FDR American Badass. FDR was your favorite, right?
That to this day, it's when people are over, we'll pop it in.
That will keep going for the remainder of our lifetimes.
I say to you now, if you're listening and you haven't seen it,
seen FDR American Badass. It is the
FDR American Badass,
greatest film maybe ever created. I don't want to go that. I want to say Citizen Kane, Shawshank Redemption.
Certainly better than Shawshank.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, maybe not as good as Pee-wee's Big Top, but still good.
But still good.
Still good. Yes.
And then I saw you at the screening. You came with the extremely talented Ivan Victor.
Ivan Victor, genius editor.
Genius editor. And I didn't know you guys were friends.
Yeah,
and I was like,
he did the first season or 2 seasons of Parks and Rec.
He did.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, Jim loved FDR American Badass, came to the screen.
Loved it.
And I was like, I'd love to have Jim in my movies. That'd be fucking awesome. I was like, would he do it? And he was like, oh, yeah. Then you came on and did Helen Keller versus Night Wolves. Again, another Academy Award winner.
Yeah. I didn't see you guys at the award ceremony.
We were off to the side. We were way off to the side.
Way off.
Yeah.
Like
in a background, like in a corner.
Sure.
Very close to
trying to get in.
I think it was a closet. I think they put us in a security closet. In a security
well,
closet.
You definitely should be in security somewhere.
Boy. Should I be locked up? Yes, I should. Welcome to the show, Jim. We get a few sponsors who pay for this.
Great.
Do you actually believe that we have sponsors who pay for the show to be on there?
I think you're going to make up these things.
Yeah, I know.
Go for it.
First up, we got straightrazors.com. You remember I had a mustache, right?
I do.
Had Tom Selleck hair.
Epic.
To go with that mustache. You know what I shaved it with, Jim? StraightRazors.com. It was a straight razor.
Did you shave with the .com?
I did.
Wow.
I shaved with the dot. I put .com all over my face.
Right.
And then I used the straight razor to shave
I
that
heard you
.com.
love to have your face sprayed with .com.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge fan of .com all over this grill. No, it's crazy because I actually do shave with a straight razor. I really do.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's an old school straight razor kit. It's got like a #1 shaving cream, #1 Cologne in the world. I'm pronouncing that right.
Cologne, absolutely.
And then they got aftershave and the whole shit. And straightrazors.com provided that to me. Shaved it. We made a commercial out of where I ended up as Hitler in this commercial. And it's don't look like Hitler. Go to straightrazors.com.
Wow.
Type in the promo code REVOLUTION. You get 20% off. Next up, we have ghostbed.com. God damn it, do I love a good ghost bed. One of the best mattresses I've ever had in my entire life. The easiest sleep I've ever had in my entire life, except for once when I had some Quaaludes down in Tijuana. It's the finest sleep you can ever get. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. You get $50 off. And if you're active military, a veteran, or in the reserves, go ahead and go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Type in your email address. They're giving away 2 free mattresses this month and 3 free sets of pillows.
Wow.
So go ahead and go to ghostbed.com. It's the best. You'll love it. Don't forget the promo code Drinkin Bros for $50 off. Next up, we got carnivoreclub.co. It is a meat of the month club, Jim. Yeah, who doesn't love it?
I love me my meat.
Dead serious. They ship these meats in a fucking amazing box to your house. I'm talking salami, spicy spreadable pork, bacon. Once a month.
Wow.
They come
Is
to
it
your
like
house.
their choice every month, or
Yeah.
how does it
No,
work?
they scatter it up.
Oh, I
so
like
it could
that.
be like a lamb's leg from like
Right.
India.
Yeah.
The next month it could be like a rare puppy from Korea.
Oh, those are the best.
I know,
Oh,
the best.
The Shih Tzus. Oh, but with a little rub on it. Oh my God.
Oh,
they
it's great.
grill up tender.
A little Memphis rub on a beagle, on a Korean beagle
please.
goes a long way.
Nothing better.
It goes a long way.
You sick
Go to
bastard.
carnivoreclub.com. It is the meat of the month club delivered straight to your house. Type in the promo code Revolution. You get 20% off. God damn it, it's amazing. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com. We're calling in the Strike Force, Jim. It is a
Wow.
tasty, tiny little tin pouch of energy. It goes right in every single liquor, because I am drinking.
Yeah.
It's early, but I'm drinking.
What the hell?
It goes in liquors, beers, waters, any type of liquid you can imagine. You don't need a can anymore. Kick the can.
And it won't affect my beer?
Nothing. It
Oh,
tastes great.
I'm a big fan.
It tastes better than Red Bull. Lasts longer than Red Bull. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. Type in the promo code Drinkin Bros or Revolution, because that's our sister show. So we got both of them.
Wow.
Straight Razors does Drinkin Bros. Strikeforce.com does Drinkin Bros as well.
Nice.
And they also do the Ross Patterson Revolution. So you can type in both promo codes and you're good to go. You get 20% off. Type in the promo code Revolution at StrikeForceEnergy.com. Last but not least, it's my own book. At night she cries while he rides a stew.
There we go.
You know we had to do it. The first ever romance novel for dudes.
Yeah.
Boy, it's a sexy book.
Yeah. Oh,
Sexy
I know.
book. Funniest book ever written. Go to Amazon.com, Walmart.com. Any .com has got it, and it's in bookstores everywhere. I wrote it, so you know it's good.
Absolutely.
You know it's good.
Yeah.
Kids, on the show today, we got Mr. Jim O'Hare.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Legend. You know I'm going to say Parks and Recreation,
Yes,
obviously.
that's fine.
But you've been in the business for a long time. How long have you been in the business?
1876 was my first one-man show.
Yep. Vaudeville. I remember
Vaudeville.
it. I was there.
Were you
Third
there?
row. Third row.
Yeah.
Was there. You were really good that night. You had 2 puppets.
I was. I did have two.
You had 2
sock
puppets.
puppets.
Yeah. But you weren't using them on your hands.
No, that's where it got different. And depending on what was said to me, it would depend on what the size of the
Sure. The puppet.
Puppet, yes.
Obviously.
Mhm.
Obviously, the puppet extends.
extent. Yeah.
When'd you move to Hollywood?
I moved here in 1994. I was 32 years old. So I was on the older
Wow.
end. I mean, not older. I mean,
No.
32 compared
No,
now.
no,
now
you're
I'm
a young man.
76.
Yeah,
so
you're a
no.
young man. You're a
I was
young man.
I was in Chicago. Loved Chicago. The killer about Chicago, though some great things are happening now. There's like 4 or 5 sit-down shows shooting in Chicago now, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But in my day, there was not.
Were you part of that
So-
whole Second City crew in Chicago?
I trained there. I never worked for Second City, but I did the training, and then I had my own comedy group called White Noise.
Right.
Huge racist group.
Yeah.
No, White Noise.
No, white noise matters. White noise matters.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but we had a great comedy group, and we did a bunch of different shows, and one of them was so fucked up. It was called Stumpy's Gang, and it had puppets, literally puppets.
Really puppets.
And blood, and a big... At the end, a big vagina puppet kills everybody. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah. So it becomes this cult thing in Chicago where
Sure.
people are lined up around the block. They're dressing like my character. It's crazy. So we just thought, damn, if there's ever a show that maybe could work in L.A.
Right.
We had all talked about L.A., you know, and all that stuff. So we brought it to L.A. We were going to do a 6-week run. It went for 3 months.
No
And
shit. Where was it at, by the way?
The Zephyr Theater on Melrose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Zephyr.
Wow.
And it was a bloodbath, and it was awesome. And I give it all the credit to this day. All of a sudden, I had agents, managers, without having to pedal the pavement. Like
And
they
were you
came to
living
me.
here full time then?
I was.
Right.
in my mind, I said I'm going to go do this show. Then I'm going to do exactly.
That's
then
where
I'm going
it
to do
starts.
a pilot season.
Yeah.
To see what that's
Yeah,
all
of
about.
course.
Because
You
you
gotta-
hear all
you
about
gotta- you gotta do a pilot season, yeah.
So I came and for some miracle, I booked a pilot the first season.
Right.
So you realize you have to be here.
Yeah, you got to be here.
And it's funny because my friends will say to this day, "We knew you were never coming back."
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, but I didn't myself." They go, "We know you
Yeah,
felt you
we
were,
know.
but
We
we
know.
knew you weren't coming back."
You know, and that, by the way, that's the question I get the most is like, hey, I want to do this or audition. Can I do it from my house in Idaho? No, you can't.
You can't.
I mean, every day I probably get 2 or 3 emails a day, and I tell people the same thing.
Yeah.
You have to live here. You
Yeah.
have to live where your job.
If you want it to be your full-time
profession. Yes,
you have
yes.
to be here.
If you want it to be a hobby, go be an extra somewhere and wherever that is.
And that's great if that's what you want to do.
Exactly. But if you want this to be a
Yes.
profession, you have to live here.
It's same with when I left Chicago. Is acting something I want to do the rest of my life, or do I want to do it while I'm working a full-time job, which is great too?
Right.
Because there's no better theater than Chicago as far as so many black boxes and great theaters and great theater companies. So that's a great life too. I wanted it to be full-time.
Sure.
So you have to make the move.
Yeah. You got to make
like,
the move.
Like, am I going to? If I want to be on Broadway, I can't live in L.A.
Exactly.
to be in New York.
Exactly. Can I just audition from where I live? No, you can't. You can't audition on your iPhone and then
Yes.
send that in to somebody, and it's just like, oh yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer's looking for that iPhone 7
Yes,
audition.
that's
Like,
exactly.
come on.
No, people are crazy, and also because of social media,
Yeah.
YouTube, and everything,
Yeah.
people think it's so easy now because
I
you
know.
get these YouTube
I know.
stars
I know.
who have
a
20
gajillion followers,
million
and they're making
followers,
money. We were talking about
and
PewDiePie before we came on air.
who I knew nothing about until this morning.
He was raking in close to 17 million a year off of his YouTube channel. Yes. So you take your top tiered actors in Hollywood. If you're at home and you're watching this from afar and
Yeah.
you're saying, all right, I want to be PewDiePie or Chris Pratt, probably making the same salary.
Yes.
Which is fucked.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yes. And that's not including endorsements, everything else. That's just off his
Deals
views.
that he's got.
Yeah, there's a couple kids that live in Wilmington that we work with. JT Machinima. They just crossed $1 million. God, I don't want to say their salary, but it's
Yeah.
They do nothing else besides
Yeah,
that.
so
and
it's just fine. Yeah.
and they're nowhere near New York or LA.
Right, but
and-
now people are like, well, that's what I'm going to do.
yeah,
well,
it is. It is. Then stay at home and do it.
Stay at home and do it. But again, like even making it as an actor, the percentages are so low.
I know.
It's so like how many of all the YouTubers? What is
Yep.
the percentage that are making a living? Yes, there's the PewDiePies and the guy you just
Absolutely.
talked to. But there's a lot of people.
I would say today, you have a better shot at making a living doing that than being an actor in Hollywood.
a regular.
Yes, simply for the
Hitting the
fact
pavement
of
actor, yeah.
if you take a Netflix show today, if you're getting a guest star, they're not paying that well.
Dude,
It's
and
like
again,
a grand,
I have to be
$1,500 a
very-
day.
Exactly.
But your agent gets 10%, your manager gets 10%.
Right.
And then they take taxes.
But you
out
have
of
to
that.
be very careful because I was yelled at once. A couple months ago, I was on a film festival tour for a film that I'm sure we'll talk about. Middleman, starring me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we do a Q&A afterward, and I'm talking about the other actors in it who were incredible. 2 of them from Walking Dead and Annie Dudek from a bunch of shows. Anyway, and I made the comment. I said, and these guys, they did it for $125 a day,
Yeah.
which is the SAG
Ultra.
minimum or
It's the
ultra
yeah.
or whatever it is. Well, she comes up to me, this woman comes up to me afterward and goes, I don't know if you understand it, but a lot of people don't make $125. And I knew where she was coming from.
Right.
But I was trying to say, but these guys are used to making
Yeah. And
X
you can't.
amount of
and
dollars.
You can't. Because to the outside world, you're making $125. That's a minimum wage job, and you could be a lead in a movie.
Dude, I turned down other stuff that I could have been doing.
Yes.
Now, granted, it was my own film, so I had a lot more going for
Sure.
me. But these guys did it for the script.
Yeah.
$125
I know.
a day. And I'm not to say if
But
you're
we
making
all
$125 a
do.
day, that's great if
Yeah.
that's paying your bills. I'm just saying these guys were used to making,
I know,
you
a
know,
gajillion
and still
dollars.
do.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. So, but even now, things have gotten, I don't know if it's because of the unions or whatever, but they do top of show. In the old
Yes.
days, you could negotiate.
Yep.
No, top of show.
Top of show.
And
Yeah.
not that that's terrible money, but in this
It
world,
used
it's
to be,
weird.
yeah.
It's high, it's
And then
weird to say
but
it.
and trying to afford to be a day-to-day actor in LA with that type of money, good luck. You're still
Yeah.
living in a 1-bedroom in the valley, and it's that's what that life is.
Yeah, that's why, when I was in Chicago, you would talk with friends, and the dream would be go to L.A.,
Yeah.
get a series.
Yeah, get a sitcom.
It goes over 100 episodes, and you're in syndication. Yeah. And then you do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of happened
Yeah,
with
it
Parks,
did. It did.
just
It
by
did.
a miracle.
Yeah.
And we're in syndication, and syndication's, awesome. Every 3 months,
Sure.
a check shows up, and you're like, that's lovely.
It's amazing.
But it's not like life all. It's lovely. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
But it's
there's
not
shows-
like, hey, I'm buying a yacht.
It's not at all.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
No, but
What was your first break, by the way, back in the day? Because
Wow.
we'll get to Parks. What was your first, like, hey, I'm making a little bit of money off of acting?
here in LA?
Yes.
In 1996, I've been here 2 years. I don't even know how I got the gig because CBS didn't want me, but they were doing a remake of Harvey.
Okay.
The old
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart
Yep.
with the Invisible Rabbit
Yeah.
and all this stuff. So the lead was Harry Anderson. Harry Anderson was doing, at the time, he had done Night Court. Now he was doing Dave's World. And they said to him, we want you to do another season of Dave's World. He
Sure.
wasn't into it. I think he was done.
Yeah.
But he said, okay, you want that? Here's what I want. I have always wanted to play Elwood P. Dowd in a remake of
Harvey.
And
And they said yes
they
and greenlit
said
that?
yes. And they got him to do either more
That's
episodes
kind of
or another
shocking,
season.
Because Harry Anderson's not, like, in today's world.
In today's world.
That
But
would
we're
never
talking
happen.
96.
Yeah.
You couldn't have wouldn't
I
have it.
know.
Yeah. So they agreed.
And a lot
we
of
will do it.
And a lot of people say the 90s going into the early 2000s was the golden age where it was like high salary.
Yes.
You're looking at Seinfeld, you're looking at Friends.
I mean, at the day when you heard Ted Danson was getting like $100,000 an episode, you're
Yeah.
like, holy
Oh,
cow.
shit.
Now, a lot of people wouldn't even consider a job for $100,000 an episode.
I know, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
So how
It's
long?
crazy.
So you go to Harvey.
I auditioned like everybody else. Well, then it turns out the director and producer want me. So, but CBS goes, we don't know who he is. No.
Right.
We want a name in there. So they, whoever did whatever magic, they said, well, just meet him. So I head over to CBS, some building somewhere,
Yeah.
and meet with a bunch of execs. And it was no audition. It was strictly just this.
Yeah.
And I left going, well, I don't know what else I can do. Like, this is it.
This is a pinnacle.
But I kept thinking, they already have Leslie Nielsen. They have Harry
Oh, wow.
Anderson, Swoosie
Yeah.
Kurtz.
Yeah.
They got
Those are some heavy
they've
hitters
got
in
their
comedy.
names.
Yeah,
Like, does
yeah.
every role have to be
A name,
like
yeah.
the big name? By the time I got home, I had the message that they gave it the go ahead. So that was a nice break.
Wow.
Because it was the first time. It was a comedic role, but it was also it was the role of Wilson, the guy who he's the what do you call him? The guy at the hospital who's the intern, like he helps him moves things.
Oh, yeah,
and he
yeah.
falls in love with the daughter on
Yeah.
the show. So it was just a nice opportunity to say I can also do non-comedy.
Sure.
You know, because the problem with LA, and believe me, comedy has paid my bills for a lot of years, and I love comedy.
Yeah.
But you go, I'm an actor.
You're boxed.
I can.
You're boxed.
Yes.
But they would rather put you in a box
Yes.
because it's easier.
That's how it's done.
Yeah, it's how it's done.
Yeah. There
so
was a guy. There was this thing called Little Knockers, and
What was it? What was the title?
Little Knockers.
Oh.
It's about kids playing football.
Sure it is. In your world.
Yes.
And the rest of the world. Yeah. So I'm doing this thing called Little Knockers. It's in Van Nuys. Peter North is in it.
Yeah, so we got a great. We shoot at this pool.
Yeah.
Actually,
pizza guy,
twice
the pizza
as
king.
I get older, not twice anymore. But no, but it was mocking the football documentary with the coaches screaming and
Yes.
everything, but it was with the children. So I'm screaming, "You little fuckers!"
Yeah.
Well, when it first happened, someone suggested me for the role, and the director said, "That sweet guy from Parks and Rec."
Yeah.
No. Well, then they send him other shit I've done.
Yeah.
So you want to say to this town, stop
It'll never
it.
happen.
Stop
But
it.
it'll never
I know.
never happen.
Yeah. If you know who I am, if someone says, if someone pitches me, I guarantee in the room their first thought is, oh, that funny big guy.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Right.
But don't stop there.
I know.
That's what you want to say.
Here's the problem, and again, so you do Parks and Rec,
Yeah.
And here's the problem: is that show is so successful, everybody knows you from that.
Yeah.
Therefore, they think, oh, well, that's who he is, and that's what he does.
Yeah.
So to call him in for a drama, in their eyes, is like, oh, hey, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
Yes.
I'm not sure if he could do this. So it's look, it's a champagne problem to have.
I know, no.
But now it's a
Yes,
constant
I
battle
know.
to be like, I'm
I
not
know.
the guy from Parks and Rec
Yes.
anymore.
But here's the thing. I never will take that away. I couldn't be prouder of every moment on Parks and Rec. I mean,
that's great to hear, by the way,
if
because a lot of people have a problem with it.
I have none. If till the day I die, people are yelling, damn it, Jerry.
Yeah.
I am the happiest guy because they were 7 seasons of laughter and love and people who are my family to this day and will always be. Crew. I mean, same crew. 85% of our crew stayed. That's unheard of.
That's crazy.
And the only reason they stayed was it was the place to be.
Yeah.
You had Amy Poehler who set such, because
And
it
a million
really
guest
comes down
stars.
to who's the head of your show, sets the tone.
Yeah.
It just is it's how it works.
It is.
She's in most of the scenes, blah,
Yep.
blah, blah. So when you have someone walking in every morning with a smile on her face, and believe me, not everything is all peachy keen every day. She went through personal stuff. We all do.
Yeah.
But she walked in every day with a smile on her face and excited, and and the producers, Mike Shore, who the tone. One of my favorite stories is I always say, we'd have different directors. You
Right.
know, a lot of times repeated, but sometimes different. And this one director came in, and I guess the producer said to him, "So how's it going?" And he goes, "Well, no, it's all good, but it's so much trouble. Like they're like in this little group talking to each other. It's hard to get them to break up."
Right.
And the producer was like, "If that's the worst of our problems,
Yeah, exactly.
that our cast,
It's too close.
It's too
and
close.
they're having too good of a time.
Then we will work. Whatever extra time that adds to the day, let it.
We'll
add to
do
the
it.
day.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Because
So,
that's the way it should be.
Yeah. Would you say that was the big break? Like that was the end all? Like,
Well, that's the break that's changed everything. Like before Parks, I probably had.
were you making a decent living before Parks?
Yes, I haven't had to since. And I knock on wood and
Christ
the Jewish
and-
people.
Yeah,
all
exactly.
that, whatever you do, all that
Yeah.
stuff. Since I moved here in 1994,
Yep.
I've never done anything to pay the bills other than acting.
That's amazing.
So
That's
some
the dream.
years.
That's the dream. Some years are lean.
Woo-hoo, some years were lean. Others were awesome.
Yeah.
So it would be up and down. So
I've talked about it where I when I first moved here, it was 3 Domino's pizzas. You got 3 for $21, 3 mediums.
Right.
Put them in the fridge, stack them up, and those were the meals throughout the thing.
go.
Or me and the roommate would go to Baja Fresh, split up a Dos Manos, cut it in half, and that was
There you go.
the burrito was so big that was
I
our
have a
thing.
friend in the ad business. He did one of his clients was Kellogg's. He would send boxes of cereal.
Yeah.
And me and my friend Pat, who moved out here to do the show, Stumpy's gang together, we would live off of the cereal.
Yes.
So believe me, it's not like it was all roses and peaches and cream. Then I got here.
Paying your dues.
Paying the dues.
Paying your
It's
dues.
what you do.
Yeah.
I told you a story about a friend who's thinks not everyone should pay dues. Sorry.
This current group of people that is coming up feels extremely entitled, and that
Yes.
they think they do not have to pay their dues.
Because we're in a world of Kardashians.
Yes.
And they're like, well, look at that.
I
What
could be
did they
famous
do?
for just standing
There's
there
just
and
a
doing an
sex
emoji.
tape. A sex tape came out, and now they're
Gajillionaires.
millionaires. Or whatever
Yes.
the hell. Maybe billion. I don't know what the hell they are.
They're getting close to billionaires.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
For doing nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, there's
Nothing.
There's no talent that I see. Maybe they're brilliant business people. I don't know. I don't know. them.
I will say this: there is some regard to they've got to have some business savvy because you don't get to close
Yeah.
to $1 billion by being an idiot.
Or you have good people doing it
Yes.
for you.
And I think the mom.
But I will tell you,
I think the mom is the puppet
momager,
master.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think she's the one that's doing it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think a lot of credit goes her way, and not a lot met people know it.
Yeah. Well, as
They're
much as I
constantly
always,
reinventing themselves
I always
physically,
joke
too.
about them, but I will tell you, I met who's the main one?
Kim.
Kim.
Yeah.
I think it was at the Emmys. It's something. She's stunning. She's absolutely
Gorgeous.
Where you almost
Yes.
can't take your
Yeah, yeah,
eyes off
yeah.
of her stunning.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
I
yeah,
won't say
yeah.
who she was with because that girl should have stepped away.
Oh, it's just been like, hey.
Oh my God! Because she was, I mean, literally, you almost couldn't take your eyes. Now, granted, she was all dolled up. And,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
when
look,
you
she's
peel
got
it
a
off,
team.
I don't know what goes on.
She's got a power
I'm
team
sure she
behind her,
does.
but she's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
And I will say this: there's got to be something in that Kardashian vagina. It makes people crumble.
Exactly.
It makes people melt down.
Yeah.
Kanye was in a psych ward, so it's like You got placed in a 5150
Kardashian vagina.
over Kardashian pussy, where you're just like, oh man, there's something there that's pulling these people in.
Wow.
Like, yeah. Look, Bruce even lopped his
Wow.
off. He was
He's
like,
like,
I'm
yeah,
out of here.
yeah.
I got to get out of this. Like, I miss whatever. Whatever's going
That's
on.
great.
And that
yes.
was just, I don't know what
That
it
is
is.
special veg.
Yeah, real
Damn.
special. But the only problem is, you're right. Everybody at home is watching them, saying, "This could be me. This could be me. Why isn't this me?" Or the cash me outside girl,
Yes.
who's on.
Oh, my
But they
gosh.
think that's my ticket. Or I could do this. Whereas, to me, you're the definition of a hardworking, everyday actor. Like, you audition almost every.
Well,
every
here's
day,
the other
right?
thing. Since Parks,
Yes.
there are a lot of offers, and that's awesome.
Yes.
It's absolutely awesome and exciting, and you get the call, hey, they're checking your availability for whatever. Love it. But there's also tons of auditions still.
Tons.
I am.
Yeah.
Where was I the other day? With Don Carroll, another amazing actor who's been around forever, who shouldn't have to audition. There he is. There
Yeah.
we sit. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm an actor. I audition for
Yeah,
my
yeah,
jobs.
yeah.
That's how I get my jobs.
But people don't know that.
They don't know.
They just
I do
assume,
get
like,
some.
hey, yeah,
Like,
you get
know,
offers, yeah.
Though I did a Soderbergh film, I had to audition.
Yeah.
And I should have to audition.
Yeah,
That's
it's Steven
fine.
Soderbergh.
It's
Steven
Steven
Soderbergh.
Soderbergh.
Yeah.
I'll go in. I'll audition. I did. I got the gig. So no, it's not like I just sit and wait for the phone to ring now.
Right.
No. And believe me, and I don't let up at all. My thing, whenever I do
'Cause
a
you
talk
can't.
with young people,
Yeah.
every audition is important. Parks and Rec is the perfect example. I auditioned for Ron Swanson. Well, Nick Offerman
Did
was
you
the
really?
only one who should ever
Yeah,
have
I've
been considered,
Ron
and he
Swanson.
was their guy. From
But you're
day
the only
one.
person who should have been Jerry, so it worked.
But Jerry didn't exist until they met me in that room.
So that was not in the script.
It was not in the script.
Not in the pilot.
No, they created it.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
because they said they. So I auditioned for Ron Swanson.
Okay.
Like all of LA.
Yeah,
It was the
yeah.
big show.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler's got
Absolutely.
a show, and even though they always knew they wanted Nick, the network makes you bring
everybody back, because you got to go against, and a lot of people don't know this. When you test, usually test against 3 or 4 people, but truthfully, they know.
They normally know who they want.
They normally, yes.
So unless some crazy fucked up thing happens at that test,
Which
and shit happens,
you came in, obviously knocked it out,
well,
so they created a role for you.
They just said, would he come in? We're thinking of anyway. So cut to the chase. The producer at one point said, "Put him in a desk. It's going to work." And that's how Jerry was.
Who was that
created.
producer?
Greg Daniels, who
Greg
created
Daniels, The Office, yeah,
American
yes,
version,
yeah.
King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Parks.
Do you send him a bottle like every month saying, "Hey, thank you very much for this"?
When it all wrapped, I sent Mike and Greg just probably the grossest letter they've ever gotten, because it's life altering.
Yes.
It's not.
It is.
It's life altering.
Yes, it is.
In some ways good, some ways bad. I mean, in the bad way, I've had to put a gate at my house. 'Cause-
Really?
Yeah, and nothing terrible happened, but people trying to be nice even. It's
Yeah.
too intrusive.
Yeah,
That's my home.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, I live here.
I live here.
I live
So,
here.
Got it. So that kind of thing gets a little weird.
Right.
So it's, if I go to a restaurant, whatever, there's always activity with, because the show, we joke, it's bigger now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Because of Netflix, Hulu, and we're on 3
It
different
is.
channels all day.
And I'll put it to you this way. So live in Wilmington, North Carolina, have a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
Every time I come home, like my wife and I have a date night once a week. Every time I
and
come
the
home,
only reason I'm here is I thought your wife would be,
would be
at
on the
least
show. I know.
stroking my back or something.
Everybody comes here for her, by the way.
Yes, it was all about
it's not me. It's called the Ross Patterson Revolution, but it's really Jesse's
Absolutely.
world. It's really Jesse's
Absolutely.
world. But every time I come home on a Friday night, the babysitter's always watching Netflix, kids asleep, and it's always Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Every single time.
It's the 16 to 40-year-olds are obsessed.
Yeah,
Obsessed.
And I find, and I don't know if it's like a retro thing or like we're trying to be cool. I find Parks and Rec. I find Friends.
Yeah.
I find like Gilmore Girls and Seinfeld, where I'm like, you're a fucking 18-year-old girl. Like, why are you watching this? Watch like a One Tree Hill or something. Like,
No, they're comforting.
yes,
There's
they are.
something
They are.
comforting.
There's something
And
comforting,
the thing
and
about,
you can watch them over and over again.
and over. And the thing about Parks, I always say, it was a sweet show. It wasn't just punchline.
Yeah.
We would go to a commercial break on what just happened there?
Mm-hmm.
I loved that. And again, I take no credit for any of that.
Right,
I'm just
right.
saying that's what the show was, though.
But yes,
So
and
but
it holds up.
I think it does. Yeah.
It's going to keep going for years and years. The writing was so smart, and the actors were
Yes.
so perfect for the role. it's going to hold up for many, many years. So, like, you and the gate, that's going to have to go for a while after
yes,
that.
the gate will be there.
It's going to have to go for a while.
Here's the thing, and this, when people hear this, they'll say, oh, my God, that just makes my heart feel so good. We still text that we're on this family.
You guys are all still close, yeah.
Still text constantly.
That's great.
If we see each other in some weird
even
thing
Aziz?
or whatever. Even Aziz. Even damn Aziz. No, I love Aziz. Pratt, who's the busiest man.
I know.
Like, the dude won't even be at his house again until like 2018 or something.
Yeah.
He sent. I'm being honored at this charity event next month, and he sent this awesome video for me. I mean, there's no one. Chris Pratt is like the kindest man, and it has not changed.
Yeah.
His world has changed.
Right, but he has not changed.
He has not changed.
I follow his Instagram. I've met him a few times. I follow his Instagram, and he's always like fishing or just doing like out in the woods
That's
type
who
things.
he is.
Yeah.
And not to speak for him, but he's also really smart. I know a lot of times he'll play, like on Parks, he played the dumb Andy and stuff. He's a smart guy. He knows he's got a plan for his future. He knows his business is fickle.
Right,
you don't know.
Yeah.
You're hot today, tomorrow no one answers your call.
It's good you recognize that because a lot of people don't. They get behind it and you're like,
totally gets
and I've seen friends blow through it where it's just like, oh boy, you're heading down a dark road
exactly.
here.
Season 2, I think it was season 2 of Parks. He and I went to, it was either before or after a table read, Laurel Tavern, which is a place on Laurel.
Yeah.
Anyway, great place.
Weird how that works.
Yeah,
Laurel Tavern. Yeah.
And they served us alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
And
strange
food.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're sitting there, and his phone rings, and he looks, and he goes, oh, my God, it's my agent. They never call me. I have to. So I always joke, like, now, please.
Boy, their agent's calling every 5 minutes. You okay, Chris? You doing good? You need anything? Because I can go to Popeyes for you.
Yes.
You want to go to Popeyes chicken for you? Yeah.
His world has changed.
Speaking of worlds changing, yours has changed because with Middleman, now you're producing.
Yeah.
This is your first foray into that, isn't it?
And my last.
In your life.
If my life goes good, it's my last.
Nightmare, isn't it?
Dude, I learned a big. First of all, they said to me,
welcome to my world, by the way.
You can have it. It's all yours.
Do you think that I want it that bad? Like, the only thing I want is the end product out of it. The rest of it is it's a nightmare. And
every day it's a new nightmare.
Yes.
Oh, this happened today. What?
And I'm
this person's pissed about what?
Exactly.
What?
And I want to hear your experiences on it from when you got it to how it went, and describe these nightmares, and then I'll fill in for the audience and let you know that it's real. It's real every day.
Well, first of all, and I had the lesser of the nightmare because this film was made, thankfully, because of Parks. It gave this script has been out there. My friend Ned Crowley wrote this script 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
Sent it to me. He goes, oh, would this be great? Well, what can we do? We know nobody. We have no money.
And what's the story? Tell the backstory.
It's called Middleman. It's about this sad guy. His mother died.
Stand-up comedian?
Well, no, not yet. He's an accountant.
Yes.
He was raised, his mother and him would do routines like Stan Laurel and Ollie, the Three Stooges, not, Burns and Allen, not modern funny.
Yeah.
So the mom dies. He's got nothing. The house is going to go into auction. All he got left was this 52 or 53 olds. And he's going to fulfill a dream. He's going to go to Vegas because there's a Johnny Carson type person there, who would be our modern day Letterman or whatever.
Sure.
And he holds a stand-up competition once a year. So I'm going to drive to Vegas, and I'm going to audition.
Yeah.
Well, of course, I'm not funny at all. There's nothing funny about me. On the way there, he makes one very, very bad decision. And it changes everything. And literally, his life, there's murders, there's...
It's a drama. It looks like a drama from the trailer.
It's a dramedy.
Yes, dramedy.
I have the least laughs in this whole film. This is not my comedy film. This is hardcore. And it was funny, because when Ned was directing it, the first scene that I shot was with Tracy Walters. Now, you might know him from Repo Man or whatever. And I remember doing it, and Ned said, no, it's too much, less. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I feel like I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
But he directed the hell out of it. And I've never been prouder of a performance. And I hate watching me. I'm one of those people who... I don't like what I'm in.
Total opposite, by the way.
Oh, do you love to watch?
I love watching myself. Because I couldn't be better every time. But no, I'm kidding.
But aren't you always like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that?
Well, I improv a lot. And again, it's for the last 8 years has been my own movies.
So you can,
and I don't do anybody else's movies.
Right.
So I can do whatever I want.
Right.
But before then, yes, I was the same way where it was like, man, why didn't you use that take? Why didn't you use that angle? Why didn't? And then you realize they don't give a shit. And we'll get to that because it's so as you're going through this process, what made you produce it?
Well, so this happens, and all of a sudden, because of Parks, now there's some
buzz,
heat, if that's
some
the
heat,
term we're going to use.
Yeah.
So Ned gets a call. He's got some producers who will do this if he can get me attached. So he calls me and he goes, "We get to make Middleman." I go, "What?" I'm thinking, who knows?
12 years?
12 years in the talking. So
that's a miracle.
We have a lunch or a dinner at Shutters on the beach with these producers.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking,
Shutters is the fanciest place in town.
Got to meet at Shutters.
Yeah.
And they seemed super legit. And next thing I know, we're making a movie. But they said, we need your name as a producer also when it comes time to sell it, to
do the whole
promote
thing,
it, blah, 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 blah.
Were you involved in casting too?
Yes. But that is the one area I wanted to be in, which of course I regretted, because I mean, casting is so important. It's got to be.
But how boring is it once you're there, and that's what they don't tell you. So because as an actor, when you start off, because I was the same, start off as an actor, and then when I switched, I thought when I was just acting, when I showed up on set, Jesus is here. You're safe. We're good to go. I'm here. I'm going to fix everything. Little do you know until you switch and produce. The crew doesn't care about you.
No.
The producers don't care about you. The director only wants you to get it right and get the fuck out of there.
Exactly.
Because time is money. Everything is money. Even casting directors are like, please, you're
low
waiting.
on the totem pole.
Yes, and
Low.
and none of that. But even for casting directors, you're waiting for somebody to come in, knock it out of the park, so you can leave and be like, I don't want to see the next 60 people. I want it to be this guy.
But I felt, and I don't regret this at all, if their sides had me in it, my character, which most of them did, I had to read with them.
And you should have.
I just felt like
that's what I
had
did too.
to.
And that's what I did too, yes.
Because especially the guy who plays my co-lead is Andrew J. West. He's mostly known from Walking
Did you know him
Dead.
before, or did he come in and audition?
The script went out.
Clean audition.
He wanted, his people read it and said, he's perfect, blah, blah, blah. There were other people that we were interested in at the time. But Andy came in, and I'll never forget it. There were 3 big scenes we did together, and I just looked over at Ned like, that's it.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy.
There's
Yeah.
And when you see his performance, and here's the only thing that's been bothering me, once we hit the festivals, we got a lot of reviews came out.
Right.
Thankfully,
Great reviews, by the way.
Great reviews, by the way. Lovely. He is not getting the credit he deserves because they'll say, "Oh, wonderful job by Andrew J. West." They should be
praising his name,
way more than me.
Yeah,
he is brilliant.
But
in
it's
this
the name.
Film.
It's the name, and it's the fact that you're different than you were in Parks and Rec.
I know, and so I'm getting a lot of attention for that, and that's fine. So he's in it, and then this Josh McDermott, who plays Eugene on Walking Dead, he came in. He used to be a stand-up, so his role is this piece of shit stand-up guy.
Right.
He came in, and we were like, oh, well, it's so nice when you see it, and you're like, that's the guy.
That's the guy.
Or the girl.
That's the guy. I know.
And one girl who I won't say her name, one actress you would all know, I won't say her name.
Yeah.
But it looked like she was going to play my love interest. And here's my thing, and I don't know if he'll hear this, but did you see the movie The Chef?
Yeah, I love The Chef.
There's a lot to love about it.
Big fan.
But here's what made me crazy. And I know Jon Favreau, Chicago boy.
Sure, you bet.
John's a great guy, super talented.
Chicago kid.
But in the movie The Chef,
now
I look at John, and his ex-wife is Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
And his potential girlfriend is Scarlett Johansson.
You bet.
Sorry.
No.
Not
a
Nope.
By the way,
because I know my world. That don't happen.
No. And you know what we call that in the biz, the King of Queens wife.
Yes.
That goes back to Kevin. Kevin James was the one who started of like, oh, hey, guess what?
I have a hot wife.
I'm going to be an overweight man who's got a gorgeous rock star wife.
Which, hey, believe me, if
he
possible?
Was
the chef du jour, if he was like in the movie, if he was like this big, important Bobby Flay kind of chef, okay, you can get a lot of stuff that you wouldn't have got. Who knows? But it made me crazy. So I said to Ned, we can't have
a drop-dead model.
It just doesn't
make
work. Sense.
I'm
the... I know what this is. I'm not repulsed, but it's, there's a lot going on here. So anyway, he agreed. And I said, we need pretty, but we need wholesome. Anyway, so we get this one actress. Again, I won't say her name.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget. I'm on set on Parks, and I was talking to one of the other actors, and I won't say who because then it'll lead to who she is.
Sure.
And we're talking about. He goes, "Yeah, I'm heading to so and so to do this film." I said, "Oh, who's in it?" And he goes, "This person's." And then he mentions this actress, and I said, "When are you shooting that?" He goes, "Oh, June." Well, we're shooting in June.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I make some phone calls, blah, blah. Yeah, she backed out. So we were so disappointed. But the way things work out.
First movie as a producer?
First time ever.
Oh, yeah. By the way, it happens to me up until the day before.
Oh,
People cancel, I got booked, I'm sorry. And it's a text. Because they don't want to call, so it's a text. Yeah, and you're like, then you got to scramble, call the casting director.
That's exactly what we did.
Yep.
But then this girl comes in, Annie Dudek.
Crushed it.
And I looked at Ned like, what were we worried about?
Yeah, we're good.
This is who should have been
We're
here.
good.
Does she have the name
Yeah.
recognition? No, not like that, but she's still very well known.
Yep.
She was on House for a lot of years, and she does a lot of Mad Men, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, maybe not the
the foreign sales name.
Been.
Yeah,
yes,
the foreign sales
because
that's all they want.
That's all they want.
Yeah.
She was awesome. And that poor girl had to do a love scene with me and lay underneath me for 3 hours. God bless her. That's what I say. God
Did they build her
bless
something? Did they build her a statue?
No.
Did they carve something out? Because she deserves it. I'm kidding.
That poor girl, to this day, I apologize every time I see her.
Is she married? Because now her husband's got to think of that.
Yeah. Oh,
boy.
No, and she was awesome. And it's exactly who should have been my girlfriend in this film. She's pretty, but she's not, this crazy model type. You know what I mean? But so talented, and that's what it's ultimately all about.
It is.
So they put my name on it. So all of a sudden, I'm in meetings where they're talking about trailers, and they're talking about craft services, and we need to get this, and this AD is doing. I wanted to blow my head off.
Yeah.
I don't like those conversations.
Miserable.
Miserable.
And that's all it is all day long. And you're like, you can, as an actor, you can barely focus on the job.
But I'm the lead.
Yes,
I am in.
You got to carry it.
I always say, if you don't like Jim O'Hare, don't go to this movie.
Right.
97% of this film is
Jim,
that face.
is Jim
so
O'Hare.
on that big screen. Hate it, that's fine, but this is what you're going to get. So so mostly it was Ned Crowley who took the brunt of the nightmare. But I realized when it was over, I want nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
I'm an actor. I want to just be an actor.
And that's because everybody looks at me and they're like, oh my God, it's a dream. You make your own movies. I'm like, it's a fucking nightmare because I have to deal with everything behind the scene. And it goes on, you're on set 14, 15 hours a day. But producers' meetings, you're there 2 hours afterwards. And then, usually an hour as the director before setting up and all that shit. And you're like, oh my God, you're working 20-hour days.
And they're on your ass every second about
it's a
money.
Problem.
Money.
And everything's a problem.
Yes. Everything and everyone.
Yeah. Everything and everyone.
And I'm sure I was a problem too. I mean, the greatest, again, I always say about Andy West, who played the co-star in it, he had just finished a J.J. Abrams pilot in Toronto where he was the lead.
Right.
So next thing you know, he's with us in the fucking desert. It's 114 degrees.
For $125 a day.
For $125 a day. We're opening the doors of our car to drop our pants to change clothes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's independent film. That's
crazy.
That's independent filmmaking.
Crazy.
So do you think that's your last one?
No.
No.
Producing, yes. Not independent film.
Yeah.
No. Oh, please, I'll do independent films. I love them.
But producing.
I want nothing to do with it.
You're done
now,
with that.
if they say, listen, we got to put your name on it because it'll help, but that's just by name.
Sure.
Put my name where you want it.
Yep.
Put my name where you want it. But don't put me in your meetings.
See, for me, I still have to do all of that shit because I want creative control.
You want that.
But it's the sickness and post of wanting to cut it and edit it myself.
Yeah.
And pick all the shots and all the angles and do all the shit. That it's like, all right, the only way to get that power is to produce it and do all of it yourself so that way you have that power. Otherwise, the movie could turn out shitty and because a lot of people at home think, oh my God, you've done your own movies. You must be proud of all of them. No. Like there was the first couple that I didn't have full 100% creative control on, that were a little bit out of my hands that I wasn't in post on.
Yeah.
I got fucked on, and the movies, even artwork, where if you see a poster you don't like, you're like fuck. I wish I would have been in those meetings.
You have that brain for that, then.
Yeah, but it's a
Dude,
constant
to sit
grind.
in an editing booth, that blows my head off.
Yeah, but it's a constant
hours.
grind. You hate your wife hates you, your family hates you. It's so many hours, and then at the end of it, like you're either massively obese or you're on blood thinners or whatever it is, and you're like, I don't understand why you were drinking all day, and you're like, oh, because I just sat there for 15 hours, took a million phone calls, people are suing you.
Yeah.
And also
none of that.
The day the crew finishes, another thing that people don't realize, they're sending in an unemployment. I'm unemployed now, and it's like, oh yeah, the government's giving away free money, and you're like, no. We have to pay those taxes on that. So like, that's still coming from something. They're like, oh shit, that sucks, man. But we'll be at the beach if you need me. Like, you want to come to the beach? And I was like, no,
because I have to do all.
I still got to work. Still got to make this movie.
Here's my favorite thing, and I've had this happen. I rap on a Friday.
Yeah.
On Monday, I'm on a new gig. That
goodbye,
is
everybody.
What I love.
Yeah. And everybody, you walk on a set, and everybody's like, "Jim's here."
Yeah,
it's a beautiful day.
Beautiful
Jim's
day.
here. Yeah.
What are we having for lunch?
Yeah.
That's what I like. Now, unfortunately for Ned, we rap.
Yep.
And his next 2.5, 3 months
See you later.
living
hell. Yeah.
Living
hell.
Yeah.
And it keeps going.
Yes. I went from there to, I don't know, where did I shoot something like in some great place after that? It's terrible.
I know.
But I don't care because I don't want
I know.
that.
I know.
I don't want it.
And it's so crazy. You're like, why do I keep doing this?
Well, because it's in you.
I know.
And when a film is good, you can say, I did that.
I did that.
Yes.
And you take all of the credit for it, where you're like Quentin Tarantino, because a lot of people bag on him for how braggadocious he is, of like, I make the best shit and fuck you guys. After seeing the work that it takes to go into it, yes, Kanye it. Say you are the best. Drop the mic, because this, I read the new thing on him. He said he was only making 10 films and then retiring. So he's
who's this?
Tarantino.
10 more films.
No.
Oh, 10 films in my career.
10 total, and he says
wow.
I get 2 left. And somebody asked him why. The interviewer asked him why, and he goes because I feel that my body of work and the last 2 films I'm going to make, I'm going to make 10, drop the mic for every other filmmaker to say, beat these fucking 10.
Wow.
And you're like, okay.
Wow.
And I saw
he'll either do it or he won't. We'll
exactly. And when I saw
Hateful
Hateful Eight, I was like, ugh. I'm a huge fan of his, by the way. I don't know.
Wait, which one are you talking about?
Hateful Eight. I'm a huge fan of Tarantino, and I don't know if you are or not.
I am a fan.
I don't know how you beat his 10. I don't know how you beat his 10. Whatever that German World War II thing is. By the way, if you don't think we're shooting this live, we shoot it all live.
We're shooting it live, people. You wouldn't believe what's going on. I think that actually right now the bar might be getting robbed.
I know. It
know.
could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
We are in LA. So what's next? What do you got after this? What do you got coming on the pipeline?
So I shot the Soderbergh film. I think it comes out, I would guess, this summer. It's called Logan Lucky with me and my buddy Channing Tatum.
You're kidding.
You guys.
Do you call him Chan?
Chan. Yeah. And it was great.
I love it. I heard he's nice as fuck, too.
Oh, my God.
I've met him and his wife, and he's super nice, but it was before they got famous. Same with Pratt. It was before they got famous, and I was like, I don't know if they're super nice anymore.
Super nice. And the first day on set, of course, I was a wreck. I'm like, what am I doing here? It's him, Daniel J. Craig, Adam Driver, Katherine Heigl, Hilary Swank. It was just Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane. I mean, it's just...
Dude, by the way, Seth I worked with, nicest guy on the planet. Jesus Christ.
I had heard some weird shit.
Really?
And I was at a party once and thought, there he is. And I'm a huge Family Guy.
Yeah.
Seen every episode 100 times. Nothing better than the Stewie episode and Brian. I mean, I just love him. So I thought, you know what? I don't care. If he's a dick, I'm still going up to him. The dude talked to me for 20 minutes. He even did Stewie's voice at one point.
Nicest guy?
Could not have been nicer. So, you hear shit. I said this earlier.
It's not true. Yeah.
I've learned to... I'll base it on my
own interaction.
My own interaction, which was wonderful. Now, maybe he has been shitty to people. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was not my experience.
No. I worked with him on a Sunday. Like, at his office. The whole lot was closed, everything.
Yeah.
They didn't know his name at the security gate.
Wow.
And he was like, I'm Seth MacFarlane. Like, we don't have any on the list. Classic Hollywood. And he had signed a $100 million deal with the studio literally 10 days before, and they were like, we don't have any on the list. And he goes, could you check again? It's Seth MacFarlane. And finally, somebody in the background, you could hear them runting at the top speed. They're like, it's fucking Seth MacFarlane. And it was like, even as rich as he and nice as he was, couldn't be nicer. Walked into his office on a Sunday, and he goes, you want a drink? And I was like, I love one. He goes, if we're working on a Sunday, let's drink. And he goes, I got a bar in my office. Help yourself.
What were you doing?
It's down the end of the hallway. It was a little thing for Hulu, and I mean, very. It was going to be a pilot. They ended
Yeah.
up chopping it up in a short series. Now it's a full-length show on like Pop TV.
Wow.
But it took 5 years in development. But
Yeah.
he did it for free.
Yeah.
Shot with him. Shot for the entire day with him. And he doesn't know me from Adam. And it was
Right.
just like, hey, go back into my office and help yourself to the bar. Like,
Yeah. No, great guy.
The greatest guy in the world. And I was like,
agree.
holy shit.
I agree. And I hear, oh, he's got an ego, blah, blah, blah. Well, he deserves his ego. He's worked his ass off.
Yeah.
This didn't just happen for
No,
him either.
no.
And I can only go, my experience was amazing.
Same as mine.
So I'm sitting on this film like, how is this happening? And so my first scene is 3.5 pages with Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Chan.
Oh, Chan.
Anyway.
Oh, you're talking
so
about Chan.
We start talking, and our mutual buddy is Chris Pratt. So then we do a
Lucky
selfie. We
there.
send it to
Yeah,
Pratt. Pratt
yeah,
goes, I
yeah.
wish I was there. We're like, and blah, blah, we should
Yeah.
hear. So that immediately set
The tone.
like the
Of like,
nice
all right.
tone.
But it
here's-
almost is like you're in. Like, oh, you're in. You're
Well, see,
in the
that is
world.
what-
You're in
'cause,
the game.
I love meeting people that I've been a fan of.
Sure.
I just do. And there's nothing better than when you go up to them and they look at you like, oh my God.
I
from
know.
Parks and Rec."
I
Like,
know.
It just, first of all, legitimizes you a little bit.
Yeah.
And you don't feel as stalkery.
And it pulls everybody's guard down. Where
Exactly.
They're like, all right, cool.
He's
Yeah, you're in
legit.
the game. Yeah,
Like, did you ever watch Downton Abbey?
Yes.
I was obsessed. So I get to meet Lady Mary.
Oh.
Well, I'm telling you, I still think of her as royalty, which is crazy.
Yeah.
The woman's an actress.
You almost bowed, I bet.
Oh, I would have if I thought it was appropriate. And then the next year, Amy and Tina Fey, host of the Globes, I was at the Globes party.
Oh, Golden Globes?
Anyway.
Golden
The
Globes?
Golden Globes. So they have this after party, and so she's there. Well, then the next year, she's or it might have been the Emmy. Anyway, another party, and there's Lady Edith, who I hadn't met yet.
Yeah.
So she goes, did you want to meet her? I go, oh, I'd love to. So she walks me over and Lady Edith. I still call her Lady Edith.
You
turns
had a
around
meltdown.
and goes,
You had a meltdown.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Could have died right there. Life was good. Could have died right there. So yeah, so I did this. I did that film. I guess that'll come out. I guess this is called Logan Lucky. I don't know. I guess this summer.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the other thing I was going to say. Soderbergh shoots natural lighting only.
You're kidding.
So 3.5 pages. I'm thinking this will be a 12, 14-hour day. You know, because there's turnarounds.
6.
By lunch,
You're
they're
gone.
heading me back to the hotel.
Goodbye, everybody.
They said enjoy catering, and then we got a car for you back to the hotel. Unbelievable, but
That's
that's how he
crazy.
shoots, and he's on camera. The camera's on his shoulder. If there's
Get
if
outta
there's
here.
3 cameras working,
Yeah.
he's on one of them. If there's 1 camera working, he's the one guy on camera.
You never get that.
That is what. And then he goes home and edits it at night. So my last day,
He edited it personally?
he puts an edit together every night.
Now I feel like a piece of shit, like a
Well,
lazy piece
well,
of shit. I
but
don't
you
edit.
are.
I don't edit.
No, you
I
are,
don't edit,
though.
and I don't hold the camera either.
He does it that night.
Okay.
So my last day of filming, because I could, I guess, easily be cut out of a film. That happens every day.
It does.
And
It happens a lot.
And maybe
Yeah.
I will be. All I know is the last day he said, "You're going to be happy," because he's
Really?
already seen.
Oh
it.
yeah, he's already edited.
So
yeah.
now, granted, he doesn't get final. I know, studios
Sure,
come in. Who
sure.
knows? Maybe I'll be out of the. It might be tough. I kind of steer what happens at the beginning, but who knows?
Right.
We've all been around long enough to say your family's watching.
I
like,
know.
Where are you? Oh, I was in that scene prior to this.
First movie I ever did, I got cut out of. Gathered my family around. It was airing at Christmas. It was a Christmas
we've
special
done it,
on
yes.
Disney. You can
Yeah.
only see my arms. Cutouts. Another one was Sundance. That was not a fun one. Had an 8-minute scene with Winona Ryder to start off this movie, and I thought this was it. This
Right,
was
like this-
going to be like massively huge. Saw the director the day before on the street, and he goes, "Hey man, by the way, before tomorrow's premiere, I cut that
And
scene
you're at
with
Sundance.
Winona," and I'm there, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Did the other scenes? The other scenes stayed, but my time to shine was that 8-minute scene with Winona
Exactly.
Ryder," and I was like,
Exactly.
"Oh, this is gonna be amazing." Gone, and after that is when I was like, "All right, you show up, you do the best you can." You hope for the best, but like I hope stop getting higher at that
But
point.
what you have to learn is it had nothing to do with your performance. I
No,
guarantee it.
no.
It's never.
No,
it's
it's not.
always about story.
Story, yeah.
Story. We lost some shit in Middleman that broke my heart.
Yeah.
That would go. Someone said that scene didn't make it. Oh no, that
did
was,
you call them personally or?
Oh well, no. We would talk. He would call and say, "This isn't gonna." He wanted my feedback. And I'm like, Oh, I fucking love that. But I had to trust.
I know.
Story.
Yeah.
Story.
Yep.
So, I mean, the classic one is Kevin Costner on The Big Chill.
Okay,
He
Kevin
shot all
Costner
this
was shot
stuff,
out of like six
he is,
movies. Yeah,
he's
a Dead Body.
Dead Body.
Yeah.
So it's not about performance. It's not about talent. It's story.
It's crazy, right?
So who knows? But yes, I think I'll be in this movie.
Great.
This summer called
Out
Logan
this
Lucky.
summer?
This summer. Middleman.
When is Middleman coming out?
Well, Middleman, through some miracle of miracles, it's going to get a theatrical release.
Yes.
But the little one where they do like a 3-week New York.
But that's independent
more
films.
than we expected.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we're thrilled. And then it goes to Netflix, and then all the VODs,
VOD,
and all
on
that.
demand,
So by June, I think we'll be pretty much out there. I think that's the word. I could be misspeaking.
Okay.
I have a film called Landline that I shot last summer in Chicago in Wrigley Field.
Shut up.
Yes.
That's got to be the dream.
It was wild because I'm a
Did you take a bunch of pictures of like all these?
And oh my God, now what's his name? Who did a cameo? Come on.
Oh, you're gonna go to hell for this one.
Oh hell! Someone look up Landline. The movie Landline.
There's no producer
here. We got
It's me.
nothing.
It's me.
Son of a bitch. Anyway, super fun. I think they're having their premiere next month. I heard. I don't know what that deal is. So maybe that. And then I love when I get to film in Chicago. It's my hometown. That shot there. And then I went back to film a movie called Heavens to Betsy.
Okay.
I played a priest. My mother in heaven smiled down because she always thought I might be a priest.
Yeah. Not a prayer.
No, Mommy.
Not a prayer. That's going to happen.
No.
No. Glad you didn't, by the way.
Yeah.
Glad you didn't.
No. No, that wasn't going to happen. Gosh, I'm heading to Denver in 2 weeks for a week to do a film.
So you have 90 movies coming out.
There's like a lot of stuff coming up. Yeah.
You got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, again, and it's not all parks related, but a lot of it is
because of parks. Because of parks. And that's not a bad thing. Hey, everybody needs that look.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
And this is the point in the show where we get to the revolutionary figure of the week.
I'm riveted.
And this one's going out to Ulysses S. Grant. You know why?
I call him the Grantster.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
You know why it's going out to Ulysses S. Grant? The first one who created and supported the first national park, Yellowstone National Park.
There we go.
Boom. And that's for you. That's for you.
That's it, my friend.
Ulysses S. Grant, thank you. I'm going to look at the camera and say,
yes, I thank you.
For creating and inventing the first national park in the world, Yellowstone National Park.
If he hadn't, I wouldn't be sitting here.
No, you wouldn't.
What would we have done?
No,
something in recreation. I don't know. Like malls and
garbage
recreation.
People and recreation.
No.
Could have been a garbage person.
It's all because of Ulysses S. Grant.
Could have been a garbage person. Jim O'Hare, I appreciate you coming on the show. You know you're one of my faves.
I love you too.
And
fell in love with FDR.
Yes,
American Badass.
Yes, you did.
And people I seriously, and this is not a plug for him because I don't give a shit about his life.
No, you don't care about me.
You have to see. Where can they see that?
FDR American
Badass.
It's everywhere. Amazon, YouTube, you name it. You know the rules
brilliant.
now. It's on every streamable
thing. If you're connected, if you're paying $7 a month somewhere, you can see.
Yeah, you can see the movie. And then also, Jim is in Range 15 with me, and Helen Keller versus Nightwolves.
Yes,
you were brilliant in both, and I love having you in every single movie. And seriously, I am always grateful when you show up. When Jim O'Hare shows up to do a better movie, it makes it a better movie. So please. Put Jim O'Hare in your movie. I promise you will not regret it.
I actually flew in from Kansas City. I was doing a play in Kansas City.
For $125.
Yes. Flew in. Did it? Flew out. Yes.
You're the greatest. You're the great. An actor. Seriously, if you were out there, put Jim O'Hare in your movie. It'll make it a million times better. I love you, buddy. Thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
If you could describe Ross Patterson Revolution in one sentence, what would it be?
Daytona Beach, spring break, 1986. Pauly Shore's hosting. 80 women are topless. The Ross Patterson Revolution is now live on all platforms. iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, Podcast Addict, you name it, it's there. Look, I don't give a fuck how much you protest, how much you fucking cry, how much you hold up your fucking sign that you made with all your fucking kids' Crayola crayons. It's not gonna work. We'll be coming at you live every Monday and Wednesday. And yes, the revolution is televised as well. We'll be live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Not even gonna lie. I follow Andy Cohen on fucking Instagram. Why?
You do?
Because that little gay parties like a fucking rock star. He ordered a fucking champagne for Anderson Cooper. Him and Coop Dog, trashed in first class. God damn it, I get into that shit. You can binge listen to the first 6 episodes right now on all platforms. Go to iTunes and subscribe now. Somebody tell Madonna to shut the fuck up.